Now, what we have in Louisiana at this time is a number of different people. And Bernardo de Galvez pulls all of these people together. We have Malagueños that come because Bernardo de Galvez invites the people of Malaga to come and settle in Louisiana. We have Canary Islanders that come from the small islands. Certainly these Canary Islanders are just like the ones that came to San Antonio, and at much the same time. We have Spanish settlers, Spanish soldiers, and their families who settle in New Orleans. We have the Acadian coast, and certainly everyone knows that the Acadians were actually the originators of the Cajuns in Louisiana. They come driven by the British from French Canada. The British had forced them out of French Canada, and because of that, they are scattered all over the Caribbean. And many of them come to New Orleans and settle in the Acadian area. We also have what's called the German coast. There were Germans who came and settled. There were also free blacks, because remember, the French did not always require that blacks be slaves. There were many free blacks who were very successful as traders and merchants and workers in the economy. Yes, there were slaves, and surprisingly enough, there were still many French. The French did not leave when the Spanish arrived. So you have a number of French settlers that remain in Louisiana. And it is Bernardo de Galvez who brings all of these people together. He unites them, and in 1763, he realizes that what he must do is somehow unite this disparate group of settlers into a unified fighting force, because the British are right across the river. At this point, the Spanish king does not want to go to war. He doesn't like going to war because it's expensive. It costs money. And so certainly Carlos III is going to do everything he can to prevent war. And in doing so, Bernardo de Galvez is going to be faced with the problem of how to sneak those supplies upriver and still deny that he knows Oliver Pollock, deny that he has anything to do with the supplies that are going upriver, deny that the Spanish are involved in any way at all. These little barges that are going upriver carry the Spanish flag, and the Spanish, because they are supporting the Americans, the Spanish are not going to be able to admit to helping, and so what we have is a problem for Bernardo de Galvez. And yes, he is going to be among the first to lie to the British about what the Spanish are doing. By 1779, Charles III has finally decided that yes, it's time to get into the war. The Americans are not doing well. Remember, this is a period when poor Washington is just keeping his military together, trying to stay away from the British who control the coasts, the British who control the ocean, the British who can blockade anything that Washington has. And it is Bernardo de Galvez and his supplies up the Mississippi River that are helping to keep Washington and his troops afloat. When Spain declares war, he is going to have to find a way to stop the British. Bernardo de Galvez gets in touch with the town of Malaga, where his uncle and his family, the Galvezes, have maintained control. And in this case, Malaga sends 400,000 reales to the Spanish crown in order to help the war against the British. This cathedral in Malaga that you see here is missing its left-hand tower. The reason it is missing that tower is because the money that was supposed to go to complete that tower was sent to the Spanish government in order to help with the war. Today, there is a plaque on this cathedral by the Sons of the American Revolution thanking the people of Malaga for their help with the American Revolution.